Hey guys, OGalbina here, and we have made it to the big leagues. This is our CGT Season 2 draft analysis. We've won a couple championships in J8, and we're finally getting our shot to play in this league, which is a league consisting solely of people who have won championships in the Gen8 Wi-Fi scene. So it's got some great competition. I got in, and Kirby got in too, so I'm hoping Team Hamburger can pop off and show everybody what's up. But I'm really excited and grateful for the opportunity. And today I'm going to be showing you guys my team. If you haven't seen the draft stream that Aquarius was doing over on her channel, I think it was on her YouTube channel, might have been on her Twitch, I don't know for sure, but we have a pretty fun team. I know a lot of people are just doing like the one slide, this is my team, which is fair if that's what you want to do, but I think doing draft analysis are a lot of fun, and I know you guys like watching them as well. So we're gonna go through each of our picks one by one, and we'll go from there. So if you guys do enjoy this draft analysis and are excited for this season of the CGT, please drop a like on the vid as well as sub to the channel. We're on our way to 2,000 subs, and I'd really appreciate it if you help us out along that goal. And yeah, your support's always appreciated a ton. So that being said, we could jump right into it. Let's going into the draft. We had not pick 1, not 2, 3, 4, 5, or even 6. We had pick 7, which is pretty dog shit terrible. Not something I was super excited about pick wise. So my philosophy always when drafting a team is grab the thing that is best left on the board and build a team around it from there. So what I ended up doing from here is getting a Pokemon I didn't think should last in Mew here at pick 7, which is really, really exciting. I love Mew. I've used it plenty of times, and I think I'm a really good Mew player and like really know how to build this thing really well. Now, sometimes I lean a little bit more on the defensive side of Mew because I think it is so damn good at being that stall-breaking, Super Fang, Nightshading, Seismic Tossing, Will-O-Wisping menace, but it does so many things great, whether it be set up offensive sets, whether it be great utility sets. I've seen Scarf go crazy. I've seen just like 4 coverage moves, Expert Belt Mew go crazy. And while I do think it is a little bit lacking on the offensive side, and I think people really overvalue offensive Mew sometimes, it's still very good. And defensively, it can cover almost any hole you have in your team. Like week 1, spoilers. No, I can't even say that. Week 1, you'll see what I mean, though. And I think it's a perfect indication. So if I don't mention that in the team build, then I'm a dummy. But yeah, Mew's a great Pokemon. And the main way I like to draft from Mew is I kind of like to draft a team as if Mew isn't there, so that Mew can flex into any role that we need in a given week, opposed to fitting the same role every single week, if that makes any sense. So there's going to be our pick 1. It's going to be Mew. Next up, I grabbed Thundurus-Therian. I thought 14 was a great price point for it, especially here in round 2, giving me some Prankster speed control with Thunder Wave, as well as giving me a great wall breaker and a great sweeper, whether it be with Nasty Plot, Agility, Bulk Up. I've seen weakness policy sets go crazy. Defiant mix sets are awesome into Intim-Mons and things like that, which is really, really fun and a lot of, really, really solid as well. So I think Thundy can be really a lot of fun. Gives me great momentum in Volt Switch and U-Turn. Gives me knock support, and it's an electric that can hit grounds, which is always really important for me. Being able to grass knot those things is really, really nice. So Thundy, it's another one I've had a lot of success with. I think actually the last time I drafted Mew on Wi-Fi was with a Thundy T. I prefer Thundy I a little bit more just because of that speed tier. Thundy T is probably more fun to use because it's so damn strong, but this thing is kind of the jack of all trades and it's better at more things than Thundy T is. Well, Thundy's a better wall breaker. But regardless, Thundy I is no slouch when it comes to special attacking, so it should be able to break through teams sufficiently and support our squad well. Next up, something I think is very important with Mew is you grabbed a good offensive dark type as well as a good ground type here in Krookodile. I absolutely love using this thing, whether it be just a ridiculously reliable rocker or spreading knockoffs, being Moxie, Scarf, being a Choice Band variant. I love AV Crook. I think AV Crook is an incredibly slept on set with its very solid coverage. It can like taunt things and roar things, and it can foul play things to set up as well. I love Toxic Crook as well. It's just a ridiculously bulky mon. Intim's a great ability, and it gives us a nice little backbone to our team, and is going to help us out a ton here. It's a good dark resist as well for Mew, which is another cool thing, and Mew covers pretty much all of its weaknesses very well. So they pair together pretty well, and it gives me a really, really reliable Pokemon in this 3rd round. Next up, I don't know, man. We've kind of fallen to the dark side. We're using Pex. It's going through the OGalbina test, right? It's going through the test that every other Pokemon I say is terrible has gone through, besides Pex, because I haven't drafted this thing in years, right? And I think I've gotten much better in those years and since I've tried to use this thing. Where I'm going to try and see if it's as terrible as I think it is. I think it fits this team very well. It gives me a great bulky water roll compressor. It gives me that psychic, or not that psychic, that grounded poison as well. It sets up T-Spice for things like Mew, Thundy, Crook, which is amazing, and the rest of our team, which is phenomenal. It's a really good ice resist, which if you look at my team right now, I don't have good ice resist. It's a great fighting resist too. It takes defensive pressure off of Mew, which is really, really nice for me. So I think it fits this team well. The only issue I always have with Pex is I feel as it can be kind of exploitative or exploitable. Not exploitative. Toxapex is exploitative of its workers. No, it's exploitable, and it's a bit passive. But I think if we play around it correctly, we'll be fine with Knockoff and Haze and T-Spikes and Toxic and Scald. It's not going to be doing the most damage in the world, but it's going to sit here and it's going to be annoying, and it's going to check a lot of things. So I think Pex can do pretty well here. Next up, another Pokemon I haven't tried, and I'm so excited to try that I even wore a special shirt that I just got today with a Dragonite on it. Look at this shirt, by the way. Look, it's got a Dragonite, and it's got a Goomy, and a Bagon, the cutest first stage dragon, and an Axew on it. I have wanted to use Dragonite for so long, and it's part of the reason why I took Pex, honestly, because my team was already so damn ice weak. I needed a really good ice resist, and Toxapex was that Pokemon, right? So I ended up driving Dragonite here, whether it be Dragon Dancing sets, Choice Band variants, special sets, T-Waving, fat, bulky sets. With Multi-Scale, this Pokemon can really do it all. Weakness policy is just demonic if we have hazards off the field, which we do have two great defog, or a great defogger and Thundy with priority defog, so we don't always have to run boots. I think this thing can be absolutely amazing, and I am really, really, really excited to try it. It has that Gen 1 coverage. It's got E-Speed for great, strong priority. It's ridiculously bulky, reliable recovery. Like I said, sweeper with either Dragon Dance or Agility. It does a ton of amazing things really well, and I'm so excited to try this thing. I have not gotten the opportunity to all gen, and it got a significant buff in viability this gen, in my opinion. So I'm super excited for Dragonite. If you can't tell, it's by far the one I want to use the most on this team. So I think it'll be a lot of fun here using Dragonite as a round 5 pick. Next up, I grabbed Klefki. I wanted another Ice Resist, and I wanted Registeel, but stupid Kurt sniped me. So we ended up getting Klefki, which is a little bit of roll compression. It gives us our Fairy and our Steel, which is nice. It's also going to give me spikes, which I think is very much so appreciated for a lot of our offense right now. Mew, Thundy, Crook, and D-Knight really, really appreciates it, actually. And it takes that pressure off of Mew being a spiker, because Mew can spike this generation, so that's obviously very nice. Another Prankster Defogger. It gives me Prankster Screens as well for the plentiful setup that we can have. And it does a lot of things. Again, more, I think I said Prankster Speed Control and T-Wave, so it does a lot of things really great, and I'm really excited to use Klefki here this season. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Next up, I need the Ghost Resist. If you look at my team, I really only had Krookodile, and I wanted a really sturdy Ghost Resist, as well as a little bit more regen plus switch button with Pex here in Audino. So Pex Audino is kind of notorious as like a solid budget core. With Pex is definitely expensive, but Aud isn't the most expensive Pokemon in the world. And again, it's very passive, but it's something I feel like I can use very well. It's another reason why I thought I could use Pex well, because if I can use passive ass Audino well, I feel like I can use passive Pex pretty darn well too. So. But regardless, it Thunderwaves, it Knockoffs, it Encores, it Toxics, it Wishes, and it switches out. It is not going to be a win con in any week. It's not going to set up with Calm Minds and win the game, but it is going to be incredibly annoying for a lot of teams to break and deal with in conjunction with Mew and Toxapex and Klefki and things like that. And the wish to keep the rest of my team healthy is really, really important, whether it be Klefki, Krookodile, even Thundy and Mew and different things like that. It can be really clutch. And Heal Bell, so it gives me a Cleric, which is great for a team like this. So I really like how this team's shaping out so far. Next up, though, we have Blacephalon, another Pokemon I have wanted to try for so long. It's kind of a theme with this draft. It's me trying new things. It's the end of the gen. I'm kind of burned out on Gen 8 draft. I know a lot of people are, and I really wanted to use this thing. I haven't gotten the opportunity to do so yet, and I figured this was a fun team to do it. My team kind of struggles breaking fat steels, so I figured that could be awesome. This plus Krookodile can be really annoying to switch into in conjunction with each other, which can be awesome. I think I have plenty of ways of pivoting around Fat Waters at this point, and I will continue to get ways to pivot around them. It plus Spikes and T-Spike and Rocks and Hazard Stack can be incredibly difficult to switch into. It can trick things. It doesn't have to be choiced either, whether it be Scarf or Specs. It can be Life Orb and just break through things. It can be Boots and have more longevity and things like that, more switch opportunities. So, and we have great removal for it, which I think is awesome. So I'm really excited to use Blacephalon. I've seen a lot of people pop off at this Pokemon this gen, and in general, and I haven't used it since Pursuit got snapped this whole gen. So I'm really excited to try it out this season. Next up, I needed a ground resist. I don't know, man. So the Ice Weakness kind of continues a little bit. We have two great Ice Resists, I think, in Toxapex and Klefki, and an offensive one in Blacephalon. But Appletun here is going to be a little bit more difficult for us to kind of justify drafting. Now, I could have drafted Leafeon on this spot, but I already had the Wish Passer, I already had the Cleric, I already had plenty of Knock on my team and things like that. So I wanted to grab Appletun because I thought he looked fun. He's actually only 2 times resistant or weakness to grass with Thick Fat, which, to be fair, any grass type would have been anyway. So while I'm adding technically a 4 times resist, it's really not unless I feel like running Ripen that week, which Probably not. Applacid plus Leech Seed and Dragon Move can be really annoying to switch around, to be completely honest. If it can beat down a lot of bulkier teams with like Applacid, Leech Seed, shenanigans. We can even run Curse and things like that. This Pokemon is honestly really solid for its price point. And I think at 3 points you get a good grounders just like this really isn't that bad. I also got a soft spot for it from all my Radical Red runs, so maybe that's why I ended up drafting it. But I'm really excited to use Appletun this season. Next up, I grabbed Lucario. I wanted a good offensive fighting, and I felt like this was the best one left that fit the team. With Pokemon like Blacephalon and Krookodile and Mew, having a good offensive fighting is very, very important. And breaking through those dark types, and Lucario is going to be able to do so in spades. Like, it's going to smash through things. Now, the biggest downside of Lucario for me is really mediocre speed tier and low bulk, allowing it to not really find the setup opportunities that it wants to boost up its priority very well, but also not really outspeed in OHKO offense with like its priority that it has if we're not boosted and things like that. But I think if you can position this thing in on fat builds, or you're playing a fatter, slower team, Sword Dancing and Nasty playing Lucario can be an absolute menace. I've seen Agility pop off before, and you can usually live one of any neutral hit. So you'll sometimes find that opportunity to set up if you really need to, but a lot of the time I feel like Life Orb just comes in and it clicks a button between Close Combat, Mash, Bullet Punch, Extreme Speed, Vacuum Wave, EQ, Crunch, Elemental Punches. Like, it gets crazy coverage and it's ridiculously strong. And it can't be intimed, which is also really nice. And it's a good Dark type switch in because it's justified and things like that. So again, there's a lot of cool things that can potentially be done here with Lucario, and I'm hoping it pops off this season. Then lastly, I think we have Shuckle. I only had 3 points left, and there wasn't really anything that I wanted, so I figured grabbing more Hazard couldn't hurt, and getting that Webs option with things like Lucario and Thundurus and Krookodile and Blacephalon especially could be really terrifying for some teams to deal with in prep. Now, how many times I'm going to bring this all season? Who knows? But having that option of Webs in the back is one, nice for me, and two, really nice for my opponent to have to try and prep for every single week while covering our fat core and things like that. So I think we drafted a really cool, just like bulky offense team. We have a really fat core with things like Mew, Pex, Klefki, Audino, even big Appletun stepping up, and things like Crook and Dragonite can be built to be much more defensive. And then we have great offense in Mew, Thundy, Crook, D-Knight, Blacephalon, Lucario, like really cool pieces. So I'm super excited for this season. I think we have an awesome team, and we can show them all together. Here's the squad. My face cam's gone, but it's okay. You gotta look at my pretty team instead. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, again, be sure to drop a like on the vid as well as sub to the channel. Hopefully we can take home the championship in CGT. That would be a phenomenal way to close out the generation. I think this league like runs up right until Scarlet and Violet drop, so it'll be a lot of fun. I'm definitely very excited. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Later.